China's top leader, Xi Jinping, has wrapped up a state visit to Moscow, where he held nearly 3 full days of talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Before beginning the meeting, the leaders shook hands, grinned, and addressed one another as dear friends while complimenting one another. But Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin have held several meetings in the past, 40 times to be exact, as they are leaders of two of the world's most powerful countries, China and Russia, respectively. These meetings have covered various topics, such as economic cooperation, international relations, and regional security. But this meeting has sparked interest worldwide, and the West is particularly concerned about this new alliance. Why is that so? Russian President Vladimir Putin warmly welcomed Chinese leader Xi Jinping to the Kremlin on ending a powerful message to Western leaders that their attempts to isolate Moscow over the bloodshed in Ukraine have failed. And following the issuance of an international arrest warrant for the leader of the Kremlin on war crimes allegations relating to Ukraine, Xi's trip showcased Beijing's new diplomatic swagger and handed Putin a political boost. The two major powers have described Xi's 3-day trip as an opportunity to deepen their no-limits friendship. And this friendship, or strong ties, whatever you may call it, is beneficial for both countries economically. For its energy-hungry economy, China looks to Russia as a source of oil and gas. It also sees Russia as an ally in resisting American aggression, global hegemony, and harsh punishment for its human rights records. And on the other hand, Russia has grown increasingly reliant on China as both an import market and an exporter of electronics after being slapped with sweeping sanctions. In fact, for Putin, the visit was a diplomatic boon in a time of need. Because of the war, Putin has long been shunned by Western politicians. But in front of the camera during talks with Xi, the Chinese president hailed Putin's strong leadership and even urged the Russian people to vote for him again in 2024. Additionally, in this anti-Western world, Russia is heavily reliant on China, now more than ever, as the war rages in Ukraine. So the connection between China and Russia is symbiotic, with China supplying Russia with economic possibilities and investment in exchange for Russia giving China more clout in the global arena and support for its assertive foreign policy. Now, what are the key takeaways from this meeting? Well, one of the key takeaways from this meeting is the agreement between Russia and China to promote the stable development of the global financial system. The two leaders' agreement to cooperate economically may result in more trade, investment, and technological cooperation between the two nations. And this could have a favorable influence on the global economy, particularly in terms of stimulating trade and investment flows. Moreover, it's important to remember that both China and Russia have been working to lessen their reliance on the US currency in international trade, and this deal may help them further with that goal. So this meeting might help them in their efforts to rely less on the US dollar, which might have long-term effects on the world financial system. Similarly, the two countries are also increasingly ideologically aligned in their opposition to the US-led world order. Beijing and Moscow have both accused Washington of attempting to stifle their growth and isolate them as they compete with it for regional and global leadership. Furthermore, the meeting's emphasis on military mutual trust may have consequences for world security and stability. In a joint statement, Russia and China vowed to further deepen military mutual trust, citing increased military cooperation and exchanges as well as regular joint maritime and aerial patrols. Also, it's important to mention here that the meetings yielded no breakthrough in resolving the conflict in Ukraine. Although Xi made a strong show of solidarity with Putin against the West, he barely mentioned the Ukraine conflict. And for all the fanfare around his peace efforts, Xi kept up a political balancing act in which he neither condemned Russian actions nor provided Putin military support. On the other hand, Putin also praised Xi during one meeting for a peace plan he put forth last month regarding Ukraine. And as Xi left Moscow, Ukraine faced a new series of Russian drone attacks, which killed at least 3 people and damaged some infrastructure across the country. So the Chinese aren't providing weapons yet, but Xi certainly offered moral and psychological support in what might be described as a get-well visit to an ailing relative. Hence, there is widespread skepticism of China's intentions, As a matter of fact, the West is afraid that China, which it has obviously denied, may arm Russia in the conflict, and has not supported any of the actions. China has refrained from providing Russia's military with supplies, which might exacerbate relations with Washington and turn crucial European trading allies against China. Another point is that some analysts believe that a strong China is bolstering a weak Russia, in a negative way, obviously. China controls every aspect of the partnership between the two nations. When measured by purchasing power parity, its economy is 6 times larger, and its influence is going to escalate further in the future. And as geopolitics analysts would say, China never acts purely out of altruism, and there is always a price for its support or intervention. So unless there is an unexpected flip, this weaker Russia will gradually come under the control of China. Perhaps this is the main motivation behind Xi's brotherly visit. He is strengthening a flank against the West and the United States. Still, China has got to walk a tightrope of standing by its strategic allies and objectives while avoiding alienating the West and potentially losing access to markets that are essential for its exports and development. So, what do you think about China's intentions of taking over the globe? We'll be happy to hear your thoughts. And if you found this video informative and enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button as well. Thank you for watching.